And sorry, I'm only doing one video today because I've had, bluntly, a rotten day. But I'm beginning to rally a bit now. And I had intended to do this morning, and then I was plunged into all this sort of aftermath of coming out of surgery. Anyway, the follow-up to the Sarah Everard story and the jailing of the policeman and Priti Patel. At this moment, you have to imagine the Dalek impressions. Priti Patel going on about how things are unacceptable. She's quite right. It is unacceptable to be a misogynist. The problem is, all this is a slogan. And if we go back to Sir Keir Starmer's speech, you know, he's quite right. When the hecklers started, he was talking about, you know, slogans are cheap. Slogans mean absolutely nothing. And I'm afraid this is just another photo opportunity for Priti Patel. It's pointless. Also, she doesn't get it. Because the real problem which the Sarah Everard story exposes is something which has been creeping up on us over the last 10 to 15 years, and COVID has fixed, rather like sort of fixing a photograph in an old-fashioned photographic processing way. So it's about power and about inaccessibility. There's no point in having power unless it's accessible. And the problem with the power that we've got in today's world is that it's increasingly hostile and it's increasingly inaccessible and unanswerable. You can't hold it to account. And this turns up everywhere, not just in the police force. So the Sarah Everard story should make us think about misogyny, about racism, about all forms of homophobia, about all forms of prejudice, and about the abuse of power. I don't know, with our use of telephone, what do we call it, with these telephone systems where you are triaged by a telephonist, I don't know what the answer is. But unless we can get beyond the telephone, unless we can actually get beyond the complaints department, that's something foul and objectionable. That if you want to raise a complaint, you have to go to a particular department that specialises in complaints. You can't actually deal with the person who has caused the problem. That person goes on to cause more problems. And then they are managed by the complaints department. We need to make sure that power is accountable, that the people who wield power are held to account, and that the people who wield power are held, actually, I think, to a greater standard than almost anybody else. That there is not a whiff of misogyny or racism or homophobia or prejudice in any form. And that if there is, they're called to one side and made to explain themselves. So, for Priti Patel to just talk about misogyny, she is wrong. She is wrong and she knows it. And this is a photo opportunity. Nothing will change, I'm afraid, while she is Home Secretary. Anyway, do follow my channel and ring the bell, and I'll be back to normal tomorrow.